What is going on, Internet? Eric Bandholz back again with another amazing episode from Beardbrand Alliance. Hope all is going well on the other side of the Internet. So, just turned 40 and I think I'm having a midlife crisis. Whew, okay. One thing I've always said throughout the years is have your midlife crises early and often. I really think that you should be evaluating the direction that you're going in life pretty regularly, pretty frequently, so that when you do face this kind of moment in life where things may be not going the way you want them to go, that they're not major, that you're not, like leaving your spouse and buying a Ferrari and, doing whatever the things are that you do during a midlife crisis. But I kind of want to talk about how I know I'm going through a midlife crisis, the signs to look for, and then really what I'm doing to address it and hopefully come up with a strategy that helps me in the direction that I want to go in life and build the life that I want to build. Now, the biggest thing that I've noticed is I've been spending a ton of time researching things that I really don't normally do. Specifically, I've been looking into overlanding. And for those who don't know, overlanding is essentially you get this SUV, you put a tent on it or you put a camper on it, you stay in it, and it's a really nice 4x4 so you can go anywhere and, camp out in the great big sky, big moon, whatever, the outdoors. Do the outdoors and you build these like really cool kitchen. Anyways, it's really cool. I think the concept is really cool. But the reality is, I think I've been camping in my life maybe like 3 times, so I'm like thinking about trying to build some kind of overland build that's going to cost $70,000 to try to figure out how to put something in my life that I don't do. I really don't do. So the question I ask myself is like, why am I looking at these things? Like, what is this interest that I have in overlanding all of a sudden when I've never been an outdoors guy? Like, I've never done it. First of all, I think it's great to explore new things, to test new things. But when the exploration of new things comes through the acquisition of material possessions, that's when you're probably going in the wrong direction. Because the reality is I've got a little Subaru Crosstrek with all-wheel drive. It can get me to, 90% of where a fancy overland build would get me. And I can just get a little, $200 tent and some sleeping bags and, portable grill and things like that. And essentially accomplish the same thing rather than investing like this big thing to kind of make it a new part of my life. And I feel like that's kind of what a midlife crisis is. It's like this desire to want to shift who you are, to try something else, to explore new things. And I think that's great. That's something that you should do. However, it needs to come from the right direction. As you guys know, the lockdowns really hinder me a lot. I'm a guy who loves traveling. I love spending time with people. I love going to events. And a lot of that's been put on hold for the past couple of years. I almost feel like I'm going through this phase where I've got a lot of cabin fever. And I'm just like stuck in my house. And I'm not stuck in my house. I can go out and, travel if I want to. But I just feel this like imaginary force field just kind of like holding me in. And it's that little force field that I need to break in a more healthy way. So the way to break any kind of misdirection in your life is always to try to narrow things down to the present. I've got the book of reminders, which now comes in blue. You get over at beardbrand.com. The 10 reminders in here, these reminders were really for myself. These are things that I tell myself because I frequently go in the wrong direction and I need that recentering. And one of them is to focus on the present, focus on the things I'm doing now. I've taken small steps in my changes. I've focused on my weightlifting, getting stronger. But beyond that, I've wanted to do like a small shift in my style. You guys know I wear a lot of grays and blacks, and then, like my Belstaff jacket. And then I've been wearing like black denim probably for a good like 3 or 4 years. And I think like a quick and easy change that's going to spice up my life a little bit is just a style change. So I'm going a little more heritage inspired. I'll back up, you can see. I think that left me out of focus. But anyways, I got blue jeans on. Blue jeans, some Levi's 501s. Been a long time since I've been wearing blue jeans. So I feel like, this is kind of like a small thing that I can do to take control over the now, the present, bring a little bit of energy and spice into my life without completely, like throwing $70,000 down the drain for something that I really don't need and really am not going to use. And I think that's the big lesson in a midlife crisis, is kind of preventing yourself from going down this rabbit hole of things that really aren't you. Like the fancy convertible, the affairs you have with like a younger woman. Like all these things are temptations that happen. But the reality is you've got some kind of thing internally that you need to address to solve, that all these material possessions or all like the grass is greener kind of things are not going to solve for you. I really think the biggest thing with the midlife crisis is understanding that this feeling you have, it will pass as you start that process of centering. Prevent yourself from doing things that may lead to irreparable damage to your life. So the best help, I think, would be having patience to understand, like to accept that this is part of your journey. Maybe your testosterone's dropped a little bit and, like you don't react to things the same way and you don't have the same kind of confidence in dealing with things. Make sure you're doing your wellness checks. Make sure you go to the doctor, get checked up, check those testosterone levels. That's something that's been affecting a lot of men as we get older, is that drop in testosterone and what it does for your mental psyche and how you might be able to, boost those naturally. Or if you have, like way too low testosterone, maybe looking at therapies that will help you get it up to a normal level. The big thing for me is I expect to have many more crises on a regular basis. And I think when you have them so frequently, they're actually not crises. They're just moments of your life where you need to step back, evaluate what's going on, make sure that I am moving in the right direction. Make sure I'm working on the right things. I'm still working on Beardbrand. We just launched a new brand called Sovereignty. I started doing investment deals for other e-commerce businesses, which has been a ton of fun. My family, I've been putting more time to my family than I have in the past. And I'm still continuing to work on my health, eating the best that I can. And granted, my eating goes through waves, but still working on my health in terms of physical strain. So I've been weightlifting a lot and making sure that my body is built to last for the next 50 or 60 years. And those are the things that I want you to do, is make sure that you are going on the right path, because if you are in that right direction, to correct it is not going to be a big deal. To make sure we're going to just do a slight turn of the steering wheel rather than a big old U-turn, going back, burning everything down. And that's what happens, I think, for most people who hit a midlife crisis, is they've just been going down somebody else's pathway, somebody else's vision for way too long, and they're looking for a mass correction. And I don't want you guys to do that. I want your guys' crises to be small, easy to adjust, and get you pointed in the right direction so you don't wake up one day wondering what the heck is going on in your life. All right. To anyone else out there having a midlife crisis, I feel you. It ain't fun, but you'll get through it and you'll find your way. As always, thanks for watching. Cheers. Keep on growing.
Hey, I'm Mark. I think that Beardbrand products and the Beardbrand mission, they've really helped me kind of wear my beard and present it to the world in a way that, honestly, for the first time in my life, like, kind of makes me feel kind of handsome. Sometimes. But anyway, thanks, guys.